Hey, what's going on? It's 107.5 WBLS with me, Deja Vu. Now, you know, we're always talking about our hustlers tips, our hustlers guide. We have an ultimate hustler. This sister girl went from rapper to TV star, entrepreneur. Now she's the host of her own show called Boss Moves. Welcome to the show, Rasheeda.
Well, thank you. I like the intro.
Thank you. Thank you. Listen,
Thank you.
I told you earlier, look, behind the scenes, I was like, oh, I'm a fan, girl. Do it. What?
Hey, you know,
y'all ain't ready. Wow. Praise that land, G-A-I. What? That was it. What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I remember. Now this is dating myself now. I remember getting the CD.
Yes.
And I was like, I was in St. Louis at the time. We put that thing right on the air. We was going in.
Yes.
What? It was crazy.
That's crazy.
So from that to seeing you, you know, blossom and bloom into this,
Thank
and
you.
still gorgeous and everything, it's amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much.
Of course. So talk to us about your journey. I'm always interested in the journey. So I know you were still making music at one point. Are you still doing that now?
A little bit. I kind of dibble and dabble, but one thing I always say is like music is the reason why I was able to flourish into so many other things, you know, into reality television and into becoming an entrepreneur. And it's been a journey. I still got a long way to go.
Right.
And, you know, I'm just a work in progress, trying to make it happen and, you know, try to somewhat pull all this stuff together and make it make sense every day.
Yes. And when you were coming out with the music, there were female rappers on the scene, but not like there are now. It's like a whole barrage
So
of
true.
young females who are out here doing their thing. What do you think about that? Because you helped set that precedent too.
You know, I think it's beautiful, honestly. I love to see it. I love all the girls out here doing their thing, being bosses, you know, stepping out here with the fellas and holding it down, commanding the stage,
Yes.
killing it with the lyrics. I love to see it. And yes, coming from the era where, you know, being a female and getting pregnant was like the worst thing you could possibly do.
Right.
Now it's like photo shoot for everything, a new song because I'm having a new baby,
Yes.
you know, type of thing. And just, you know, the grind was so different then. You know, it was like really in the trenches, really out here gaining your fans, hardly any social media, you know, so to be able to see how things have transitioned and how females have really just, you know, come to the forefront, I love to see that.
And they're making the boss moves.
And they make a boss move.
So
baby.
we're going to talk about the show in a minute, but I want to talk about what led you to actually getting into reality TV from the beginning. How did you and Kirk make the decision, okay, we're going to do this, and then everything went on Front Street?
Girl, Front Street, Back Street, Side Street. We was like, it's on every street, huh? We didn't know that. We were green to reality TV. But what was crazy was Love and Hip Hop had started, of course, in New York here. And they decided they wanted to come to Atlanta. And when they decided, you know, they were casting and looking for a bunch of different people. And someone mentioned my name. And we ended up interviewing with Mona a couple of times. And Mona's like, you know, what makes you different? And I was like, well, I've been married for 12 years. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm the rapper and my husband's the manager. And, you know, nobody knew that. But people, of course, people knew us and knew Rasheeda the rapper, but they had no clue. So that was like a total different dynamic than the usual. And I think that was kind of like the little icing that made it be like, okay, so we'll put them on the show. And the rest is history.
The rest is history, girl. We've been up, down. But the fact that you guys are still standing, the fact that you've been to your marriage boot camps and done all that stuff, and you're still standing. I mean, for all y'all who wanted to know, he's right outside the door.
Right out there. Hold me down.
Holding you down.
Yes.
All right, so talk to me about expanding from music into entrepreneurship.
Right.
We're seeing a lot of people, especially post-pandemic, launching their businesses actually in the middle of the pandemic. And we've been all about getting our own. How important was that to you coming through in the music and seeing how the game was played?
You know, what's crazy is like we became entrepreneurs in the music industry. And I say that because we were some of the first who were like independent. Like I did
Really?
Kirk and I did do deals with Motown and Jive and stuff. And over time we were just like, you know what? This ain't us. It's not fitting like it needs to fit. Kirk was like, we're going to go independent. And that really jumped things off because it put us in a different mindset of understanding the business and understanding to be your own boss and be able to do things yourself. And I tell people all the time, you don't have to be mainstream to be successful. If you own your music, you own your masters.
Talk about that because they're starting to see that now. A lot of other artists who actually signed with these majors who Taylor Swift or Shanti,
Yep.
they're all getting their masters, and actually some folks were selling them, but you're seeing a
Yes.
whole new resurgence of people trying to get that.
Get a hold of their masters, which is the best thing you can do, and also owning your publishing. And being that we did those things early, it always kept our eyes open to be like, okay, we need to make sure, whatever it is we want to do, we execute. And coming into reality television, we were like, listen, we can't get on this big platform and not do anything.
Right.
And prior to getting on Love and Hip Hop, I started a website, which was in 2011, which it was first called onbossy.com, which is now Pressed. And we started the website, and starting it early 11 years ago up until having it now, and utilizing that platform was like the best thing we could have ever done. And that starting that enabled us to open physical locations, which is Preston Phipps in Atlanta and Preston Houston in the Galleria.
Now tell us what those are for people who don't know.
Right. Pressed is my clothing store.
Yes.
Located in Phipps Plaza in Atlanta, Houston in the Galleria, and in Atlanta on 14th Street.
Okay,
our new
multiple locations.
And of course, pressedatl.com, which is the website.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
All right, so people are now following kind of like the footsteps that you guys did. What did you learn during the pandemic? How did the business shift for you all, and what did you come out with? Like, that knowledge.
The biggest thing I think I learned was always being able to get yourself in a mindset for change. Like we were complacent, the whole world was, with the way life was.
Of course.
And then here comes this big sweep, whoosh, and we're like, oh my God, all of our businesses were closed. And we're like, you know what, but don't nobody want to hear that when it comes to your bills. You do have a savings, but let's be honest, we didn't know how long this was going to be.
Absolutely.
What was truly going to happen, So we're like, listen, what do we do? Luckily, we have our website that we started 11 years ago that we were able to continue to push and grow and go and keep employees paid and do different things, because we wanted to make sure it wasn't just about us during the pandemic. It was about employees too, because people depended on us to, feed their families.
How much additional pressure was that? Like, did y'all have some light pillow talk? We got to do whatever. We got to make this happen. I don't know. We might have to sell this and do this and pull that.
Honestly, I think probably half of the world had a lot of pillow talk, trying to figure out what to do. You know what I mean?
Yes. I was looking out the window like, okay, God, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Yeah. So we were just really trying to figure it out, and thank God that we had certain things in place.
Right.
And that we were able to pivot quickly, and start, really selling online and, getting merchandise, trying to get merchandise and making sure we could do it, but it came together and it worked out really good.
That is awesome. So the hustler's tip that Rasheeda's giving us right now is get your site together. I'm serious. You said that multiple times about having your site, and that was the thing that was able to hold you down.
Yes, it really was.
And so when did this opportunity come about for Boss Moves? Now, Philo, of course, is the streaming platform.
Yes.
And they have all this new stuff, but you're the first original series on there, right?
Yes, it was amazing. I was like, wait, what? We're going to be what? The first what? No. Okay. So a company called Ken came to me, a production company.
They have really good stuff.
They have great stuff. And they were like, hey, we want to work with you. And, me and Kurt was like, okay, let's see what this is about. And I mean, voila, over some meetings and, coming together and full circally trying to figure out what we wanted to do, we came up with Boss Moves, which I thought was just an amazing thing, because more than anything, I wanted people to be able to see, Kirk and I in a different light, and what we really do, and the things that you just don't know about us. And we're serious about business. Everything we do, we are in it 100%. We work really hard, and we wanted people to see that and wanted to be able to educate and inform, because we've made a lot of mistakes, and people a lot of times see the glitz and don't see the dirty dog hard work that you've been through.
Oh, but she's this, she's that. I can do the same thing, but
yeah, boo. But listen, you gotta put the work in, and if somebody can, prevent you from making some mistakes, I, love to do that. And I think we need that for each other, as a community, just being able to, we know business, we've made mistakes, but here's some tips for you. Here's some things you can learn. Here's some things you might not want to do because it didn't work for us,
right?
But it may work for you, but just be careful, and just, inform our people.
So what will we expect for this season? I know that you have some of your friends dropping by.
Course.
Tell us that.
So what I will say is everyone who is a part of Boss Moves has an amazing story to share, whether it's with, a wellness business, health, whether it's with beauty, whether in so many different kind of realms. Of course, we talk about wills and trusts.
Yes,
and that's something
please.
Yes, and that's something that we don't really talk about a lot in our community, but we need to be educated on.
Especially with the pandemic, even just the basics. We were talking on the air just about life insurance. Having that kind of stuff. And, if something were to happen, we're seeing how precious life is.
Yeah.
Information like that coming from a source like you guys.
Right. And we wanted to just be able to, talk about a lot of different things, the goods, the bads, give you as many tips. Every single episode, we give tips like literally written on the screen for people to just gems to take with them and just, good pointers and notes. So every episode is something new.
Okay.
We talk about real estate, the good, the bad, and that. And, we just really just trying to pull you into our world of the things that we know and things we don't know. We learning in some episodes just like everybody else, so it's fun.
That's dope.
Yes.
Now you mentioned real estate. Have you been up and down in this crazy game with real estate recently? Because every time I look at something, 2 days later, it's gone.
It's crazy. I'm just like, the world is tripped out to me, especially in Atlanta. It's a seller's market right now. Houses that were 500,000 is 1.2 million.
I know, because everybody would be like, I'm going to go to Atlanta and get my house.
And that's what's been happening. So everybody's been flocking to Atlanta because the price of living was cheap. Now it's high, so y'all can go back home and let us be. No, but it's crazy. Atlanta's really turned into that city where.
But Atlanta's always been kind of that city ever since I want to say the late 90s.
But the cost of living was low though. But now the cost of living is
girl,
I'm sitting here this ain't the same.
This gas tank is costing too much to fill up now.
It's $100 and something every time you go to the gas station.
I know.
But y'all gas prices up here is crazy.
Yeah, it's
we're
hectic.
at $4.80, $95. Y'all at $20 a gallon.
Thereabout. All right, so we know you have your business thing happening. What's happening on the personal side? What are you working on personally? Where are you going? We know the birthday's coming up.
Yes.
Actually, I just found out the birthday's coming up. Shouts out to Krista.
Yes, Gemini season is approaching.
Okay.
Just, really more than anything, after just working so hard for so many years, we really now try to find that Zen place, that unplugged time.
Girl, yes.
Because you really do need it, for real, as much as we, especially as women, as we work and we're moms and we the nanny and the cook and the doctor at home, and we doing all these many different things.
Yes.
We do have to take out time to chill and relax. So that's really been Kirk and I's main focus. So birthday time is going to be chill and fun. We'll probably go to a little island somewhere and relax and, just try to enjoy life more.
Nice. Yeah. All right, so what are your plans for the summer? After you get finished with, doing your thing, are you going out on tour anywhere? Are you speaking? What's
I
next?
have several speaking engagements, and I'm also thinking about pulling together my own little Boss Moves little convention.
What?
So,
okay, sign me up. I'm going to get registered.
So I'm looking forward to doing that.
And
just growing, just, moving these businesses around and, trying to see if we want to start up another location somewhere. Not sure yet, but it's on our mind. Just taking it day by day.
You are so grounded. I love the energy. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
And we cannot wait to see it. When is the launch date for Boss Moves?
Okay, so Boss Moves is out now.
Okay.
So you can go to Philo, and that's PHILO TV. It's a streaming platform. It's $25 a month.
Girl,
7-day free
but a
trial.
couple of Starbucks, going on and do it.
But let me tell you what's good about it is you get 60 cable channels. So you can watch MTV, VH1, BET, all of those channels, and you can watch, Boss Moves and other movies, unlimited DVR, so it's really, really lit.
Nice.
So you can check out a new episode of Boss Moves every single Wednesday.
Okay.
And you can see the short version on YouTube, and that's the that's the Kin Connect. So you can go to Rasheeda Boss Moves on YouTube and catch the short version of each episode too.
Look at that. She knows how to plug the product and everything. Come on, sis.
I'm the plug. I'm plugging the plug.
I love it. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. And that's how we do Deja Vu Show, WBLS. Let's rock.